Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Riley if you're new. I'm an artist and illustrator, and on this channel I like to share process videos of my artistic practice, journaling content, and bits of my life. I was really grateful to receive the community journal in a recent package from my pen pal and friend Chris from NIMS Archive. This was a project started by Sai from the Analog Diaries, and I'll link anyone that I mention in this video in the description below. The first portion of this video is a time-lapse of the 2 spreads that I made in this book, and then towards the end of the video I'm going to show better detail shots of what I ended up writing, drawing, and collaging. So, like with my journal pages, I started off collaging some papers. These include magazine clippings, vintage gift wrap, and scrapbook paper. I ended up covering the left side of the spread with a big collage. I wanted to use fountain pen ink, and I didn't want to risk the ink bleeding onto any pages that others would be using. So I thought if I did 2 spreads, I could write on the right hand side of the spread, and then if anything did bleed through, I could kind of fix it on the next spread that I was going to do. So I'm just kind of filling the left-hand side with all these little patterned papers, and I think it turned out cool. I also ended up cutting out a house motif that I use in a lot of my collages because I think it's kind of one of my signature shapes. So I'm just cutting out the windows here, and I ended up gluing that to the page with a glue stick. I also used a tape runner for all the other pieces of paper that you see glued down, just so that I wouldn't end up warping the pages. I think I ended up having kind of a pink, green, and yellow theme, which I really like. I tried to use coordinating washi tape, and I think I ended up using like a few stickers. In my journal spreads recently, I haven't really been using a ton of stickers. I've been gravitating more towards collage and adding in bits of ephemera, but I do have these little reaction stickers, or I guess they're like emotion, like mood stickers. So I did one at the top of the page. And here is my box of stamps. I have found a bunch of little bags of vintage postage stamps at my local thrift store, and I've been really liking adding them to my journal spreads. I think it adds like a really nice quality, and so I picked out ones that I thought went with the colors on this page. It got dark midway through me filming this video, but I'm trying to just like go with the flow with filming and not find excuses not to film. So I'm starting my writing here. I'm using my TWSBI Eco, which I really love this fountain pen. I actually found this at an antique market, which is so weird because it's not like a vintage pen. But I have it inked with Sailor Yurameku Suki Gokuro, and this is one of my favorite inks. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe the color. It's like kind of brown, teal, and green all at the same time. And I have that in an extra fine nib. I tried to write differently than I usually do in my journal. Normally my handwriting is not super legible. So for these pages I wrote a lot bigger just so that people would be able to read it easier. At least I hope that was how it ended up. I think on this first page I'm just kind of introducing myself and talking a little bit about my artistic practice. And I also drew a little book. I haven't really been using my fountain pens a ton. I've been using gel pens very consistently for the last year or so ago. When the Hobonichi paper debacle was happening at the beginning of 2025, I ended up using a lot of Zebra Sarasa gel pens, and lately I've been using the Sharpie S Gel in 0.5. But anyway, this is the next spread. I did 2 spreads. There is like kind of a guideline of just doing like under 4 spreads just so that other people have room in the journal to make their spreads. My journaling process is kind of all over the place. Similar to my art, I don't really do things in certain steps. I kind of jump all over the place and build up the pages in a weird way, but I think it helps me like balance out elements a bit more. In this paragraph, I'm writing about a little bit of my thoughts about journaling. I thought it was kind of appropriate for this traveling journal, just like what journaling means to me and what I love about journaling. I'll read what I wrote later on in the video. But yeah, it was really fun to use my fountain pens again, and I definitely want to try to incorporate them more into my journals going forward. I do miss them. I used a sticker skeleton along the bottom of some star stickers that I had. This is a little memo pad. I just thought it broke up that like big area of text nicely. And then I glued down a piece of white paper just so that I could do some drawings and not have to worry about the marker bleeding through the page. Just my classic butterfly. I draw this butterfly all the time, and another little house. Now I'm writing on the memo pad. It's the little things in life, because it is. Always. It's always about the little things. Drawing a flower. The spiral thing in the corner is a piece of vellum that I really like. I thought it added like a cool transparent layer to that image. And looking back on this now, that image is very perfect because the city that I live in is the waterfall capital of the world. I will not say what it is, but if you know, you know. So, perfect. I did not intend to do that, but it just kind of worked out that way. But yeah, this was really fun. I was kind of nervous going into this. Like, as soon as I tried to make a mark on the page, I got kind of freaked out, which is not like me. I really just kind of go for it with my journals. I don't try to overthink it too much, but because it's like a group project thing, I didn't want to mess up. And especially on camera, I didn't want to mess up. But I don't think I did mess up. I really like how my pages came together. I hope you don't mind a voiceover. I'm finding that when I'm filming videos, I really struggle to talk and focus on what I'm doing on camera. So it seems to work a lot better when I film and then do a voiceover. So I hope that's okay. And we're getting to the end, just kind of wrapping it up, adding a few final touches. I added a little Mugo Bunny stamp here. All right, and now let's look at the finished pages. Here's the cover of the journal. We were encouraged to add a sticker of our own to the front, so I added this little girl and then Derpy Tiger from K-Pop Demon Hunters. This is the inside front cover. There's a little readme page for anyone who receives the journal. I love how this was all decorated. I think it was very thoughtfully done. And I'm just flipping straight to my page because I don't want to spoil anyone else's pages. I'm going to skip reading the intro, but I'll read the rest of what I wrote. I've kept a sketchbook as long as I can remember. Journaling was something I always felt intimidated by, but I'm so glad I found it. Something about words felt scary or like I was taking it too seriously. But over the years, it has become such an essential creative outlet. The ability to document my days, work through feelings, and play with stationery and ephemera is so helpful for me, and finding friends and kindred spirits in this community has been magical. My favorite thing about journaling is that it is an expression of care. Choosing to slow down and record the small moments, archiving ephemera from the past, and spending time with ourselves, doing something creative that we can look back on. The lovingly designed notebooks, stickers, pens, washi, etc. Collectively, it speaks to our desire to document what feels important to us here and now. And the ritual of writing can be an act of self-care. I love it all. This community journal is a perfect representation of care. I am so happy to have been a part of this. The journaling community has been so lovely and welcoming. So grateful for you all. Take care, Riley. And with that, I'm going to be sending the journal next to Autist Stationery. I'll link their channel down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!